guys, Leslie here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today's video I thought I would talk about my MAC Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. I've been using this for about 2 weeks, so I thought I would do a sort of first impressions sort of review. I feel like I've not really seen too many people talk about this skin tint. Maybe that's because it hasn't launched in the US. I'm not really sure. I keep seeing mixed information. But as far as I'm aware, it's definitely in Europe and Asia, and if it's not anywhere else, I'm assuming it's coming soon. I'm not really sure why we got it first. I feel like Europe never gets anything first, so this is a bit of a shocker. So a little bit about it before I jump into application and swatches. So it's basically if the MAC Strobe Cream and the Face and Body Foundation had a baby. Super luminous, fresh feeling, like your skin but better vibe. I don't know where my shirt's going. My shirt is like... stay on my shoulders. There's 16 shades described as stretchable. So I feel like when they say that, they're trying to say, we've come with a small shade range because more people can use one shade. Laura Mercier does my absolute favorite tinted moisturizer. They only have 20 shades and I have like 3 or 4 that I can use. It may well be that there's some shades missing from this range and it might mean that these come with more, but 16 is what they've got at the moment. And within that, the categories are split into 4. So you have light, medium, deep, and rich. And they're kind of separated by different undertones. So you've got a mix of warm, cool, and neutral. I went for medium 2, which is a medium beige with peach neutral undertones, which is an unusual choice for me. I don't usually like anything peach. Whenever I go get my skin like shade matched in store, I always get given really orange or really peach shades and they always look horrific. But this one looks really nice, and I think it's because of this whole stretchable wear tinted vibe. I think if it was any more coverage than it is, it wouldn't work for me. I did get it swatched in store. Actually, that's something I forgot to say, is that I bought this in store with a gift card that I had from when I worked with another brand. MAC didn't give me the gift card, but I got a gift card from somewhere else, and then that's how I paid for it. Recently, I feel like I haven't tried that many MAC foundations. So when I saw it in store, I was like, I really want to try this. Because it was called Strobe, I was like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be like in comparison to the Strobe Cream. Because I love the Strobe Cream and I love it mixed with a foundation. But I think something I didn't like about it when it first was a thing was that they didn't have any other colours, and the colour that it was either pink or silver, I can't remember, but I didn't like it at the time because it was just like a weird red colour on me. But now they've got loads of different colours and I just loved how luminous it was, which kind of made me want to buy it. And then when they swatched it in store, she tried 2 shades, I can't remember which ones she tried, but it was the medium 2 and maybe medium 3, and they both kind of worked. So I couldn't really choose between the 2 and I just ended up picking medium 2 because I was like, I don't really need 2. But I'm already talking too much, so let's roll VT of me trying the foundation on. So we're going to jump into application. Yeah, I do just apply this with my fingers. You can use a brush, a sponge, whatever you prefer. Usually I just squeeze out a small amount and just apply it and see if I need more coverage. So it's like a gel cream texture. It does really remind me of the Laura Mercier one, just with more luminance. So I did want to apply this in natural daylight, but it's just grey all of a sudden. We're in the UK, of course it is. So yeah, this is the light we've got. A bit of artificial, a bit of daylight. It looks very light, but it will just blend into nothing, but in a good way. I'm going to continue to one side and then I'll show you the difference after. I've got some scarring here, so we're just going to put it here. I usually wouldn't put foundation on my forehead. It's always a lot darker than the rest of my face, but I thought I'd just demonstrate it anyway. Just so you can see how like sheer it is and how flexible it is in terms of like what your natural tone is. So I have done one side. Hopefully you can tell the difference. It's always a bit difficult with artificial lighting. Also, I'm not the best with lighting, so hopefully you can see that this side is way more luminous, a little bit more juicy, a little bit more plumped. It's not crazy coverage. It's giving that more awake, refreshed, just like glowy skin versus the side without any foundation on, just normal skincare, nothing too crazy. I didn't go heavy on the moisturizer, just kept it very minimal. This was just like a normal layer. I'm going to do the same to the other side, and then I might see if I can build it up. Maybe I should have tried this with a brush just to kind of see the difference, but I mean, I do really like how it applies with fingers. So I've applied it all. I definitely went a bit heavier than I usually would, just to try and see if I can really add a bit more coverage. I feel like it says it's buildable, but it's definitely just sheer. I think if you add too much, you kind of start looking a little bit more greasy. I don't think it's worth adding extra to try and build it up. I just added a little bit of gloss, a little bit of mascara, a little bit of blush, and some powder. I really didn't want to take away from the skin tint. I wanted it to still look like that is the star of the makeup. I really like how it looks. It does look very wet. I feel like you wouldn't want to wear this in summer. It's very like juicy. I feel like at least with other tinted moisturizers that I've used, they just sit on the skin a bit better. They stick a bit better. I feel like this almost needs a primer or something to really like hold it on, but it's a moisturizer essentially, so it's a bit of a strange one. So I'm going to keep it on for the rest of the day. It's actually quite late in the day right now. It's almost 4 o'clock. It does say 8-hour wear. When I started this video, it's more like 3 o'clock. So yeah, when will I leave it on till? I don't really like wearing makeup for long periods of time anymore, but I'll check in periodically as I can, just to kind of let you guys know how it's wearing. So just to round up my thoughts so far, I would like a tiny bit more coverage. That would be great, so then you can really like wear it on its own. I feel like because I'm prone to scarring, I always have some kind of pigmentation or something on my face. It doesn't cover quite as much as I would want it to. I feel like when I use the Laura Mercier one, which is my favourite skin tinted moisturizer, it just gives a bit more. And I feel like even similar to the Fenty Beauty one, the Fenty Skin Tint, I don't know if that's described as a moisturizer, but again, it's a similar vibe and it just gives a bit more coverage. Okay, so this is ridiculous, but I do have 4 skin tint / tinted moisturizers. Laura Mercier one, obviously, it's my favorite. Delicious, love this so much. The Fenty Beauty one I really like as well, but I use this one more. I did get sent the, I don't know how to say this brand, Sei. I got sent this. I don't like the colour. The colour's wrong for me, it's really pink. So I haven't really used this one. And then I have the Glowish one. Again, I think this is the wrong colour, but this is this. They are the same. Same texture, same luminosity, same glowiness, one and the same. And you get way more of this. That's something I would say. I'm like, why is this so tiny? You don't need a lot of it, but why is it so tiny? Especially if you're in a territory where they don't have this yet, try this and see if you like it, or go in store and swatch it. Also, if you really want to try it, just literally get the strobe cream and mix it with your foundation and see how you feel. Or apply the strobe cream and put your foundation over the top and see if you like that. Because I used to do that all the time and I actually forgot. I loved that combination. So I might actually grab a sample or something. I don't want the whole bottle, I just want a little bit of the strobe cream for nostalgia's sake. I really wanted to compare this to the illuminated version of the Laura Mercier, but I don't have it at the moment. I thought I did. Feel like I'll leave my thoughts there on that. I will come back to do a little update on how it's wearing. I mean, I kind of already know, but I'll let you guys know in a couple of hours how it's going. Okay, so I lied. I meant to come back at like 7. It is 12:49. I'm so tired. The skin tint is still on though. Given how sheer it is and it's basically a moisturizer, it's doing okay. It does crease. I feel like the 8-hour wear claim is accurate. What's it been for me? Maybe like 10 hours? I can't work it out, I'm really bad at math, but it was like 3:30, 4 when I put it on. It's now almost 1 o'clock. So it's been a while. I've given it the full 8 hours and more, and I would say I noticed creases probably around 3-4 hours. Actually, no, I noticed creases on my eyes straight away, but I get creasing on my eye all the time. Bear in mind, I didn't use a primer. I didn't use a load of powder. I do like primers, but I don't always use powder. So I didn't want to like add things that I wouldn't usually add to make it better. What's funny is I forgot to mention earlier in the video that I'm usually oily combination skin. So my skin's usually quite oily with a few dry patches, dehydrated patches. I had a chemical peel about a week ago. My skin has been so dry and so tight, which is very normal. That is what happens after a peel. My skin's been flaky. It's just not been how it would normally be. And this skin tint still slips around. It's still kind of like not sitting right. So I'm curious as to how this is going to be when my skin is oily. I mean, I have been using it for 2 weeks. So the week before, I don't think I remember it being too slippy, but my skin has definitely been drier than it usually is. So I feel like this is a no-go for me in summer, but right now I'm liking how it is. It's just I want it to stay on my face a little bit more. So yeah, I will just have to do more to keep it on my face. The main way I actually like wearing this is with my foundation rather than on its own. So either I put it on and then I put my foundation over the top, or I mix it with my foundation. So you can use it in a couple of different ways anyway. You could probably even just apply it in certain areas if you wanted to, especially if you get oily on your T-zone and you know it would like slip off there. Because I tend to get rashes every now and again on my face. I don't totally know the reason. Sometimes it's from food, sometimes I just have flare-ups. But essentially I get little bumps on my skin. And if you're wearing something shiny like this, it's going to exaggerate any texture basically. But then that happens with anything shiny, so just something to bear in mind. I feel like I've digged this product out, but I do actually really like it. It's definitely giving highlighter mixed with moisturizer, not foundation mixed with moisturizer. Maybe they put like 1 drop of MAC Face and Body in it, and then that's it, because the coverage is not, it's not really there, which is not surprising. For the, it's not described as a foundation, it's definitely described as a tint. There's just a little bit, so yeah, it's not doing anything that it said it wouldn't do. Actually, something I forgot to mention is that it's very skincare first, so it's meant to be very hydrating. It's got shea butter in, hyaluronic acid, vitamin E and squalane. So MAC are really pushing the skincare side of it. I feel like that's what this product is really giving. So I feel like I've mentioned the shade range already. I'm not going to dig them out too much on that. It's tempting because I feel like 16 shades, it's quite low. I think it's just because the MAC Face and Body, I swear that's 30 shades and that's quite sheer. So yeah, you would have thought they would have come with a bit more. Maybe they'll launch more later, I'm not sure. Just to round off, I do really like the finish. I think the finish is beautiful. It's just probably not something I would wear on its own. You do need to set it. It's best, you know, worn under a foundation, mixed with a foundation. That has been how I've been wearing it. So yeah, I'm probably going to continue to do that. I'm probably not going to ever wear it by itself. But any questions, comments, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.